Hey guys, Brixenta here, bringing you another tutorial. This one is of the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. I am using this one palette to make an entire eye look. So this look right here is what I'm about to show you how to do. So I hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, let's get started with the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. What you want to do when you start is you want to take a light shade so that you can blend all the other colors into that shade seamlessly. So I'm going to take the color Almond right here, and I'm just going to pack it on my brush. And then I'm going to just put it all over the lid. And I even go down underneath just a little bit. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other eye. Alright, so next you want to get a transition color. This color is going to make all the other colors you put on blend in so that there's no harsh lines, no bleeding into other places that you don't want it to go. That's just going to look like one color faded out, kind of. So I'm going to go in with the color Ashes. I actually really love this color. It's a nice taupe. And then I'm just going to put it in my crease. I go a little above my crease because I have hooded eyes. So if you see, right here is my crease. And for me, I go just above where that crease is, because otherwise you don't see anything. If you don't have hooded eyes, it's not something you have to worry about. And then I'm going to take that color and I'm going to go underneath just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And now I'm just going to take my mirror and make sure it's blended nicely because I used the viewfinder. And it's not, so I'm glad I checked. And sometimes you have to be patient with blending. This palette is actually pretty good, so you don't have a lot of extra work to do, but depending on the eyeshadow, you might have to be really patient when you blend. You just want to make sure they both look the same, or pretty close to the same, because it's very hard to get them to look exactly the same. So then you're going to go in with a little bit darker color and take the pointed end of the Shade and Light brush. So this would be the shade side. And go in with a little bit darker color. I think I'm going to go in with this color right here. Just get some on one side of the brush and then put that in the middle right where the crease is. And you can tap the excess, you can wipe it on a paper towel. I always just wipe it on my hand. I just wipe it on the back of my hand. I usually have a mess by the time I'm done, but you know, it works. And then I take the other side of the brush and I just blend that out. And then I blend it down so that it doesn't go up too far into the brow bone, onto the brow bone. Sorry about that. Okay, back to business. Alright, so you can see there's a lot more definition in this eye than there is on this eye. So we're going to do the same thing for this eye. This color actually has a little bit of glitter in it, but it's a really fine glitter, so you can blend it out nicely. So if you don't want the glitter, you can use the color Martyr. Oops, this color right here, Martyr, instead of Revelation. This one doesn't have any glitter, it's a nice matte shadow. When you do the crease, usually, as a rule of thumb, you want to do a matte color, because otherwise, it's, especially if you have hooded eyes, because if you have hooded eyes, the attention is going to be drawn to your crease, and all the other eyeshadow that you did that looks beautiful is going to just kind of disappear and not be the star of the show. And even if you don't have hooded eyes, it still draws a lot of attention to that area of your eye instead of your whole eye and your pupil, where people actually want to look when they're talking to you, or you want them to look at you when you're talking to you. But again, these are just my opinions, so if you like it that way, do it that way. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the next color I'm going to go in with is really whatever color you want on the edge. I like to keep this edge matte because I have the hooded eyes, but you really don't have to on the edge, depending on your eyes. So I think I'm going to go in with, a little bit of a grungy look and go in with Devil, which is this nice orange color right here. I was thinking about Exorcism, so if you want to go a little darker and not so grungy, you can go with that color. That's a nice matte. If you want to go really smoky, but a neutral smoky, you can go with this brown almond over here. Wait, what was I using before? Oh, it's Crucifix, I'm sorry. This is Crucifix. I don't know. This color right here is Crucifix. So if you want a nice smoky neutral color eye, then you can go with this on the outer edge. If you want a fun color, but if you want a nice fun color, you can go with the purple color so it's not quite so grungy. I'm going to go with this orange color called Devil right here. Just give it a little bit of that grungy look and have some fun. And we're just going to put that on the outer corner and blend it in. That way it doesn't go crazy all over the place. And you're going to use the fluffy end of that brush. The Shade and Light brush, you're going to use the fluffy end. And then you're going to blend in. But you're going to make sure to stop about, you're only going to want to cover about 1/4 of your eye. Not the whole thing, so that when you put in a color right here in the middle, it's going to pop. And it's not going to be muddy with whatever eyeshadow you put on the outer corner. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And I really can't tell how well I'm blending in the viewfinder, so I'm going to get the mirror and see. So when you're putting the corner in the when you're putting the eyeshadow in the corner, you want to go just below your crease or right to your crease. You don't want to go much higher than that. Otherwise, you're going to get this kind of ball on the end and it's going to look like a circular weird mess. So what you actually want to do is you want to pull it in, and then if you want to point it out a little bit, you're gonna blend whatever excess is right in that corner, and then you're gonna blend that all in as well. That way all the color, all the pigment's gonna be right in the corner, so that when you lay it down, that's where you're gonna place it too. So most of the pigment's gonna be in that outer corner, and then everything else is just gonna kind of blend into it. In the middle, you want to go with a lighter color. I love doing all mattes, but this palette has a lot of great metallic-y colors, and my favorite is the yellow gold color, which is Relic. So that's what I'm going to go with all over the base of the eyelid. If you don't want to go crazy shimmery shiny, then you can lay down a light matte color and then put Relic, this Relic, whatever shiny color you use, Relic in the middle of that so that it's just focused in the middle. I'm going to go, I think, all over the middle of my eye and just use this color though. Another really good color for the middle of the eye is Heaven. That's a nice silvery color. I actually prefer gold on myself, so that's what I'm going to go with, is Relic down here. And the metallic eyeshadows, you don't want to rub your brush back and forth like this because you're just going to take a big chunk out and make a mess. So what you want to do is you just want to pat your brush in there. And then you're going to pick up the eyeshadow just by doing that. And then you want to pat the brush on the center of your eyelid, all around, right where you want it, and then you're going to blend it out so that it's seamless. Then you're going to take and you're going to put your brush back in there, and you're going to go in the middle and you're going to pat. And just pat, pat, pat. That way you have a nice blended eye, but the focus is still right in the center. So if you ended up laying a matte down or a lighter color down before you did this gold color, then what you can do is you can spread it out all over and blend it in nicely, and then you're going to take the gold and then just pat that in the center like I just did. So I'm just going to do the same with the other eye. And you're going to take a really light color, whether it be matte, whether it be highlighter, whatever you like to use. I'm going to use this color down here. It's called Baptism. So I'm going to take Baptism and get the pointy end of the brush, and my brush is well loved, so it doesn't look very clean, but it is. So you're going to put the eyeshadow on there, and you're going to go right under where most people's arches are. I don't really do the arch thing, I just let my brows be pretty natural. I just make sure I don't have a unibrow. But right where the arch naturally would be, oops, I think I got a little too much on that one. Got a little carried away. That's okay, you can just wipe excess off and blend it in. So let me just make sure that's all blended in since I got carried away. So then I like to take a smaller flat pinched brush. Sorry about that. I don't know if you can even tell. Let me put my hand behind it so maybe you can tell a little better. There we go. It's a really pretty small, dense brush, and it's pinched so that it's flat. And then normally I take whatever color I blended into the outer corner, or I take a nice blue. I'm going to go with a blue. So I'm going to go with Ministry right here. My favorite thing to use is actually her Metal Crush eyeshadow called Paranoid. It's a beautiful blue. It's a bright cobalt beautiful blue. I love that right underneath the eye. So I'm just gonna pat my brush in there because this is one of those metallic colors, and then I'm gonna go underneath the outer corner and then just blend that in like so. And what I like to do, because it helps me when I do my eyeliner, is I like to go in again with that same color, go back in the outer corner, and then make a guideline for where I'm going to lay down that eyeliner. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So now you're going to go back to this pointy brush. Normally what I do, well actually first, so you're going to go back to the pointy end of the brush, and you're going to go back into this gold. This is a step you really don't have to do, so it's just whatever you like to do. And I love taking it right in the middle, underneath my eye. I just got it in my eye. And then I'm going to go underneath the other eye and do the same thing. This color, I don't normally do that, but I really like doing it with this color. Then normally what I do is in the inner corners of my eyes, I usually take either the Alchemist palette or whatever highlighter I put on my cheekbone that day and put that in the corner of my eye. But I'm going to show you something all with this one palette because there are so many beautiful colors in here that you can use. I'm going to go back in with that Baptism color, and I'm going to put that in the corner of my eye. So this Baptism color right here, I'm going to take the end of the brush, swipe it through, and then pat it in the corner. It just brightens that eye so all your attention is like wow to your eye, instead of just kind of, I don't know where to look. I'm not really sure. It just gives it a little pop. So I'm going to do it again. And then pat, pat, pat. And there is your complete eyeshadow look from the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that review. If you did, give it a like down below. I'd love to hear from you. So if you would like to connect more with me for more tips, tricks, videos, and music, then visit my website at www.brixenta.com. I love you guys so much, and as always, dream big.